documentaries I get to, and I'll be sitting there. Oh, there's us. Gosh, that's cool.
Yeah, show up.
I've got a pile of announcements here, actually including our mayor thing. Good afternoon and welcome to the Noon Show with Lisa and Johnny. We are coming to you live and streaming everywhere. The Noon Show airs Monday through Friday from noon until 1 o'clock Central Time. Each day, we bring you engaging conversations, perspectives, and stories that connect us all. Johnny and I would like to invite you to join us along with today's show guest, Dr. David Williams. He is the owner of Tide Wellness. So, for today's conversation, pull up a chair, sit back, and relax. And now, without further ado, here's Johnny.
Well, welcome, and we're gonna have number one. Mike doesn't want to cooperate with us. The little gremlins are in the studio today, and but welcome everybody. Thank you for being here, and blessings to everyone on this Ash Wednesday.
Yes.
And Lent begins, and a very special time in the lives of so many of us as the next 40 days of Lent and leading up to Easter soon. So
that's right.
Hope you're
it's
having
a time to fast and pray.
Fast and pray and give up something.
And not just something. Make sure it's something you would miss.
That's right. It's got to be some sacrifice with this. But
well, alternatively, you could add something.
You can add something. Actually, if you look at the history of Ash Wednesday and how all this works together, today really is a day of redemption,
right?
Reflection, and refreshment, refreshing ourselves, and that's part of the tradition, and it's part of the reason we celebrate Ash Wednesday, leading up, beginning of Lent, and leading up to Easter. So it is a special time in the lives of many, many people that are listening to us.
You're right.
And so we welcome you today. We've got a great show for you. We've got some good stuff going on around here. And you know us, the Noon Show is fun radio. And so we have a good time and love to share ideas and thoughts, events, and activities with you. And so thank you for listening. And by the way, tell someone else to listen. FM 100.1, or you can go to thenoonshow.com, hit that listen now button, and stream us literally anywhere in the world. It still blows my mind when we talk about that, because we've actually got listeners in Germany, Ireland, England, Dominican Republic, Canada. It's just special. And everyone out there who joins us, you're so special because you're so good to Lisa and I, and we thank you for that. So thank you for joining us. We're going to have a good time today, and I hope you'll stay tuned. But Miss Sunshine, we've got lots and lots and lots of things going on in this great community.
Oh, we do. I wanted to start off with a quick question. You know, in the introduction, I say pull up a chair, sit back, and relax. And I can't help but think, since we have Dr. David Williams in the studio, this was not originally part of one of my questions, but just a quick question. We had someone that I used to work who made this announcement because he ordered something for his desk so he could stand up and work alternatively instead of sitting all the time. He said sitting is the new smoking. What do you say about that?
Well, I think probably the absence of activity in many people's lives is a problem. We're pretty much sedentary. I don't know if I'd tell people they have to stand at their desk. I mean, there are definitely people who ergonomically feel better when they do that, and that's a personal preference. But as far as activity, if you think about kind of how forced the activity was in the old days, without cars and without machinery, we were much more physical creatures. And so many times I will have to kind of fight against the idea of I walk at the office. Isn't that my exercise? I hope you walk. I hope you breathe it too as well.
I do too. So maybe just get up and take some breaks. But if we stand for this show, that's our choice. I think there's other reasons too. The energy level is different when you stand, but I would probably want to alternatively, take breaks and sit down for a little while too. But anyway, we do have some announcements to make. We're going to get back to our guest in just a little bit, talk more about wellness issues. So anyway, we have something coming up. We haven't talked about this yet. So shout out to Caitlin from Abilio, and they've got something. It's called Employer Connect Neurodiversity in the Workplace. It's on February the 26th at 9 a.m. And that's at Easter Seals, right, Johnny?
It
Okay,
is.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it says join us for an interactive session. Okay, this is designed to help businesses hire and support employees with disabilities. So what you can do is you can learn about common barriers to employment, available accommodations, and local resources that can support your workforce. All right, this is an open forum. So this is a great opportunity to ask questions and explore practical strategies for inclusive hiring practices. They do have a guest speaker, a featured guest speaker, Samantha Wadsworth. There are also going to be some guest panelists with lived experience. Again, this is on February the 26th, 9 a.m. at the Easter Seals building.
Yeah, we love the Abilio folks, and they do such great work. And glad they're connecting the community more and more to help
Yes.
our folks with both physical, visible, and invisible disabilities. They do great work. Here's another one we really haven't talked about too much. It's happening Saturday. And folks, this is a family event. This is going to be so much fun. It's Family Day at the museum. And what that is, it's out at the Museum of Natural Science, Natural History, right here on the campus of the University
Oh,
of
yeah,
Alabama.
yeah.
It's this Saturday. It's at Smith Hall. It's free. It's Saturday afternoon. And let me tell you, this is going to be fun because it's for all ages. It's hands-on experiences related to university research, which we love to talk about. And they're going to have graduate students that are doing research in this wide range of topics and subject matters. It's going to be hands-on, but what's so fun about it is that they're using a theme that's going to be built around superhero and comic book characters. It's just going to be fun. It's 1 to 4 in the afternoon. And guess what else? There's free parking. You can park right out in front of the museum. Isn't that great?
I mean, I don't mean to rain on anybody's parade, but they may need to be a little concerned about the fun police showing up.
Well, I think we
You know,
have to
like,
show up for this one. But this is going to be
I
so
want
much
to go,
fun.
yeah.
Great family event, free for all ages. So guys and mamas and dads and grandmamas and granddaddies.
Wait, when did you say it is?
It's Saturday.
It's
It's Saturday, February 21st, from 1 to 4 at Smith Hall, which is where the Museum
I
of
know
Natural
where that
History.
is. Yeah.
And remind everybody, all the Alabama museums on campus are open to the community. You forget that they're there.
Well,
This
yeah.
is a great event, and it's going to be so much fun. So get your superhero costume, and comic book characters out, and let's all join and have some fun. It's all hands-on, experimental. I can't say that word.
Experiential.
It's hands-on.
I don't know. It's hands-on, yeah.
But anyway, so that's this weekend. So let's all
I
show up.
love that.
Isn't that a great idea?
Yeah, Family Day at the museum. And don't forget, we have Arsenic on the Old Lace coming up at the Bean Brown Theater. The run starts on Friday, y'all. That's going to be February 20th through March the 1st through Theater Tuscaloosa. And we got a preview, y'all. Oh my gosh. We've got Drew Becker's coming on the 20th. She's one of the lead characters. She was in the last production, which was how long ago, Johnny Rocket?
2003.
2003. And I'm telling you, I giggled and giggled and giggled and giggled. I have got to sit down and figure out what day I am going back to watch the entire production. But if you are interested in tickets, just go to theatertusk.com. That's THATRETUSC.com. Or you can call 205-391-2277. This is a quality production. You're not going to want to miss this one again. Just call them. It's so easy. 205-391-2277.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. It's a classic comedy and by the way, Ray Taylor, who is the director, is
Oh,
going
he's
to come
coming
by
too.
and visit with us tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yay!
Yeah, so he'll be here just for a few minutes. He's got squeezing us in, so that'll be fun.
I love it.
Yeah, Ray is so talented. Oh goodness! But now the The biggie for us is something that's never been done to our knowledge in town. And there's been some like live events where you walk in, pay a ticket to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But on Tuesday, March the 3rd, from 12 to 2 o'clock, right here, an extended version of the Noon Show, we've got a live public forum broadcast with Mayors Dale Phillips, Walt Maddox, and County Commission Chair Rob Robertson, all together at the same time in the same room for 2 hours. And Lisa and I are going to get to moderate it.
That's right. Tell everybody where we're going to be.
We're going to be coming from the conference room right outside the mayor's office at the city of Northport.
That's
City
right.
Hall in Northport. And we're just really excited about this. This is going to be a special day. We're beginning to put all the pieces together. We're going to frame up some issues. What we're trying
You
to
know
do,
what my top initiative is.
yeah, well, we've got a couple, but what we're going to do, we're trying to emphasize how the three governing bodies do work together.
That's the point. That's the
and
whole goal
how
of
they
this. Yes.
collaborate to solve common issues. There'll be issues like infrastructure, the economic development ecosystem, workforce, public safety. So things that all three governing bodies work together on to try and send a message that we're very blessed with three really outstanding leaders at the top of our governments, but they work together a lot more effectively than I think some people realize. So we're going to try and emphasize that, and we'll ask some good questions so they can have a conversation.
Yeah.
And so you'll tune in. It's free, folks. You don't have to pay a ticket to go to this. It's free. So mark your calendar right now, Tuesday, March the 3rd, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. on FM 100.1, or you can stream it by going to noonshow.com, hitting listen now, or you can download the Catfish 100.1 app and you can listen to us that way.
Yeah, that's great. So I wanted to talk about this thing that they've got coming up pretty soon. It's a Mahjong fundraiser. This is benefiting West Alabama Walk to End Alzheimer's. This is at the venue. Okay. This is March the 4th and admission is $25. So for me, I'm thinking, I don't know how to play Mahjong. It looks cool. It's really interesting. Okay. They have lessons. So, and it's for all levels. So it's open play Mahjong lessons, all levels. And guess what? There's door prizes on top of that. So there's food and drinks available for purchase. I mean, they've got everything there. They've addressed every concern. So what do you do to sign up? This is, if you have any questions, email Sonia Bill Griffith. That's SONJABILLGRIFFITH1@gmail.com. Otherwise, I would guess just buy your ticket at the door. It's $25. Just show up. It's March the 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the venue.
Let's see if we can squeeze one more in.
Okay.
We haven't talked about this much lately.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Tickets are now on sale. If you've never been to these tickets sell quickly. But the West Alabama Wine and Food Festival is coming up on April the 19th. Now, that's still a little ways off, but let me tell you, the tickets will sell out almost immediately, and they are on sale now. This is in downtown Northport. It's 4 to 7 o'clock p.m. on Sunday afternoon, April the 19th. The proceeds, they always have a charity that they support. The proceeds this year are going to two organizations. One, the Humane Society of West Alabama, and the other group is called Table of Grace. And to get your tickets, and I'm telling you folks, they will sell out before the end of this month, even though this is in April. But go to westalabamafoodandwine.org, get your tickets. Fabulous event, unbelievably gourmet food, exceptional wines, and a lot of our local restaurants are involved with this. So go to westalabamafoodandwine.org, get your tickets today.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks for that. We are up against a break. However, when we come back, we will be getting to our guest. We have Dr. David Williams in the Noon Show studio today, owner of Tide Wellness. If you've ever felt frustrated by your metabolism, this is going to be a show for you. We will be right back after this quick break. You've been listening to the Noon Show on FM 100.1. Don't go away. We will be here right back. Okay. again, like we did. We had to do this yesterday, David. So it's better if we shuffle around this way
Yep. If we get all tangled
because
up.
then I'll walk up and back and etc. Yeah. Yeah, it's not just that. I mean, it is what it is. Technical
Throw that
difficulties.
microphone in the garbage.
There you go.
We have 2 microphones. I'm practicing gratefulness,
This is an old
gratitude.
studio, and everything in here is old. We've been waiting on a new
Happy for
studio
what you
and new
have.
equipment downstairs
Yeah,
since last May.
it's last night.
We don't have it, and so we kind
Johnny,
of grin and just bear it a little
Grin
bit, the best that we can. That microphone has really become they just need to replace it because it's not working.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. We've got a little button down there we're supposed to push that makes it work.
Yeah,
Nah,
didn't work.
nah.
We think at the very least they could get you a microphone. They
You
can
think
get you a
so?
studio.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
so I wonder what are the specs
Kind of
for?
like pulling eye teeth. It's just hard to get.
How does this connect? Like this microphone
I have
is
no
connected to this wire, I guess. But where does that sort of plug into
Only
the whole
thing I
system?
know
is
is the
what I
toe
wonder.
bone connected to the
It's all
foot
Just
bone
goes
connected
down.
to the
I don't know.
heel bone. the heel
Oh, and then
bone
you go.
connected
Oh, it
to
connects it to
the
that.
thigh bone. The thigh bone
I mean-
connected to the hip bone. The hip bone connected to the backbone. Now hear the word of the Lord. Oh yes.
That's a better sound than grumbling.
Hey, y'all,
You like that?
y'all adapted
I
well.
like it.
That's an old song. I didn't know where that one came from. I just pulled it out.
Back.
Welcome back to the Noon Show, right?
Yeah.
here on 100.1. Thank you so much for joining us and being part of the Noon Show family. We appreciate you and we appreciate our sponsor. Miss Lisa,
Yeah.
I stopped by to see my friends at Bryant Bank on the way.
You don't
And
say.
guess what I found?
What did you find?
I found a box of lollipops behind the teller window.
What do you mean you found a
Well,
box of you found? them.
I walked up to the teller and,
Uh-huh.
and she had a box out there and I was looking. She said, "What are you looking for?" I said, "Root beer lollipops." She says, "Oh, they're behind the desk here." And she said, "I've got some new box of blueberry ones too, which I'd never had before." So she gave me a handful of root beer and blueberry lollipops.
So that's how you found them because
I found
a Bryant banker actually gathered them up and
They
gave
were.
them to you.
It just shows how nice they are.
Right.
They're so nice to you. And you walked in and actually Emily said, "Hey, Johnny." And then Susan over there, she came out. She said, "Johnny, what you doing here today?" I mean,
That's right.
It's just like family.
It's like family.
But you know what? It's a family created bank.
Yeah.
You know, it was created originally almost 21 years ago, this June actually, that a family and some professionals, I mean, some top-notch bankers, business people came together and created Bryant Bank right here in Tuscaloosa, where it is still headquartered. Now, what's interesting about that is one of the great entrepreneurial stories in our community in history, because I know our business history. This is one of the
You do.
greatest
You do.
examples of a business that not only was formed and created here, still family owned, still locally based, and has become the best bank in Alabama.
That's right.
And so what a story. And I'm so thankful they're our sponsor because we get to tell that story. But folks, if you're looking for a financial partner that can work with you to help you meet your goals and your needs, let me tell you, there's no one better than the great professionals out at Bryant Bank. And nobody has better customer service. And
That's right.
you can be a customer too. It's just really easy. And if you want to become part of the Bryant family and understand the Bryant difference, just walk into one of their great locations. It's that simple. Bryant Bank is located, their main headquarters on McFarland Boulevard North, with accessible locations in Northport, up around North River, and in beautiful downtown. Oh, and keeping my obligation, oh, darling. Anyway. So folks, go see our good friends at Bryant Bank today. They'll make you a wonderful partner, and you'll be glad you did. And remember, they're an equal housing lender and a member of
FDIC.
Go see our friends at Bryant Bank today.
In case you are just now joining us, we are joined in the Noon Show studio by Dr. David Williams. He is the owner of Tide Wellness. Welcome to the Noon Show studio, Dr. Williams.
Thank you, Lisa.
I'm so glad to have you here. So I had been looking for someone to talk about Mounjaro in the show, and I explained off the air how, met your son and all of this kind of happened. I love the way paths get directed sometimes. I find it very interesting. What I would like to ask you, though, about Mounjaro to begin with is this. So many people say they've tried everything. And I'm wondering, from your perspective, what makes Mounjaro different from traditional diet and exercise alone?
So I don't think there's ever been a product that makes people full easier and stay full longer than tirzepatide, which is the compound of Mounjaro.
Okay.
So a lot of times, people who've been frustrated with others are amazed that not only do they not have side effects as a whole, some side effects can occur, but if you keep the dosing right, they're very rare. And not only do they not have side effects, but most people feel better. There are some anti-inflammatory components to
I did not know that.
And so a lot of people feel better right off the bat, and then they just are amazed at how little it takes to get full. So that's why they're powerful, and that's why people like them.
I've read before that Mounjaro helps to cut down on the food noise.
Yes.
And I don't mind telling you, I've been just being a lady, a woman of a certain age. Doing the same workout routine. I work out. I've always been someone who goes to the gym, and I eat a certain way. Well, when you get a certain age, that sometimes is not enough. And so I do what's called microdosing.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you it does make me feel better. And one thing that I've noticed, speaking of the food noise, is I'm not as preoccupied with the next meal as I was before. I used to say, this is terrible, Dr. Williams, but back in the day, this was many years ago, I'd be like, I was a little sassy about it. I'd say, I work out so I can go to Peterbrook. You know what I mean? But I'm not as obsessed with doing things like, I do go to Peterbrook once in a while,
Sure.
Of course, but it's more manageable. And it really helps, because sometimes I think to myself, well, if I feel that way, other people, I'm sure we're all different. We're all wired differently. And for some people, maybe it's just out of control. What do you know about, can you talk about the food noise that people talk about?
So the thing about tirzepatide is it has GLP-1 properties, which is the fullness, and then the GIP properties, which is the food noise idea. And so many people who are a little bit on the edge of fixated on food, that may be the first time in their life or that they can remember that they're not really thinking about food all the time. Now, I personally think it's important to develop habits and methods that you can do without a shot to take you out of that as well. And if you'll prepare what you're going to eat and say, look, I'm just not going to spend all day in my head one way or another, I think you can get to the point where that shot will become optional. But you need to use the preparation to get the habits formed, and then the shot allows people to start developing those habits without, struggling 24/7.
That's a really good point. So there are some, what are some of the metabolic or internal health benefits people may not realize, such as blood sugar regulation or cardiovascular risk factors when they do use the Mounjaro?
So the first thing I tell a new patient is that, ironically, my goal is to make myself go out of business when it comes to that patient.
Sure.
I want them to get to where they don't need a shot or a pill, right? And the reason that's important to me is exactly what you described. I want people to have the health benefits. So if I mask their behavior, if I'm like, look, you take this shot, you're going to save $30 a week because you're going to eat less fast food and you're just going to eat fast food. Well, yeah, they're going to lose some weight, but if they change their behavior, they get benefits like reduced chance of cancer, reduced chance of, you'll see your blood sugars come down. I've had certainly people come off of diabetic medications entirely.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
Blood pressure,
diabetes, right?
Joint issues, arthritis, all that stuff. The more weight we're carrying, the more impacted on our joint every step. So it really becomes a benefit that can go into the future if you develop habits into the future.
You're hitting on a couple of other things that caught my attention. For us that are are more seasoned, we matured a little bit longer than some folks. At the senior level, let's say, I'll use myself as an example. obviously a little bit older, and I have cardiovascular issues. I have congested heart disease.
Mhm.
How, I heard you say cardiovascular benefits.
Mhm.
How does it help the senior population, and how does that translate into wellness? Does that make sense?
So, the short version is, of course, that if we take better care of our bodies, the bodies will take better care of us. And so, with things like reduced blood pressure, it's kind of like changing their oil. If you're running around with high blood pressure all the time, it's just more wear and tear on that heart. And then eventually it starts showing signs of things like heart failure and things like that. But if you kind of take care of the body, get some weight off of it, and we are seeing studies come out, I'm not really well versed in them yet, that indicate that all the GLP-1s have direct benefits to the heart themselves. But I've kind of always focused more on the behavior side leading to the benefits.
Yeah, the behavior thing, that's a key word to me, because as you're talking, you're saying I would like to go out of business, because what I think you're saying is, so they come to you, they get on Mounjaro, they're able to achieve the results they're looking for, and you're asking, do you coach them into changing their behavior?
Absolutely.
To begin with? So you
Sure,
coached
yeah.
it. Okay. We hadn't addressed that one yet. Okay.
So the first meeting with me is about a 15-minute talk. And I would say 14 minutes and 20 seconds is about behavior. All right. Very little of it's about what medication would you like to use or what can I sell you. It's mostly about the behavioral side. But then I tell people, look, you're not going to be done today, because we're talking lifestyle change. So that's going to take some time. So one of the things that we do is after a patient becomes a patient, the actual visits become free. So I know that people need the accountability. I'm going to insist they get it. And if I let them come for free, it becomes really tough to question my motives.
That's it. That's interesting. So,
Yeah.
so they achieve the results, and while they're changing the behavior, and they're being monitored by you and coached by you. So there's a higher probability that they can come off Mounjaro.
Yeah, and again, there's a big if there. I mean, they
There's
have
a
to
big
do
if.
they have to do their job.
There's a lot of ifs there
Yeah.
because some people, speaking of behavior, some people overeat for different reasons.
Mhm.
Maybe it's we all hear the term comfort food,
Mhm.
and if it's to mask other issues, like say instead of using alcohol, that kind of a thing. I mean, that's a whole other, that maybe that needs to be addressed in a different way with a different professional. Would you say that, or is that what you're for?
So I do think that there are times where other professionals are required for that.
Okay.
I do think you touched on something that's really important. You've got to get to the root of the problem. And so
Amen to that.
I've learned over
The
time,
root cause.
once you get to the problem. So for me, if you look at a turned ankle, it is just a body problem. That's all it
Correct.
is, right? But if you've got a kidney issue because you're so anxious all the time, or if you've got a weight issue because you're eating in response to that, it's a body problem that won't get fixed until we fix the mental problem, right? And then if
Okay.
you're not right with God, you may not fix that until you fix a spiritual problem. So you've got to go up the chain. Is it a body problem? Is it a mental problem? Is it a spiritual problem? If you really want to get final resolution. So you're wise to say, look, if we can't get past a certain mental element, then we may not be able to achieve what we want. So sometimes we have to focus on that.
Okay, so are you able to help coach them in a way, or help them to identify the root problem? Is this part of your function, or
Yeah, so it kind of depends on the person and their willingness to, kind of.
because they've got to be
Right.
open, and they've got to be honest with you.
We recently bought a microcurrent neurofeedback machine called IASIS. And I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, but IASIS is a Greek word for healing. And the thing I liked about it is I think we all acknowledge that the last 4 or 5 years, things are just a little bit different. Like there's more anxiety, more depression, more angst. And I never had an interest in mental health, but I just couldn't ignore it. And not only that, but we're seeing death rates that we've never seen before. So, we've seen people lose, loved ones. And so this machine will actually kind of read the brain, and then it tells it, okay, all that cortisol, all that homocysteine, you don't need quite so much of that. You need a little dose of love, a little dopa, a little GABA. And so I never make the claim I can fix a human brain, but I think I can start it toward healing with IASIS. And God made the brain to heal just like He made the body to heal.
Okay, we're going to talk more about that when we come back from break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how medication fits into a bigger wellness strategy and why supervision matters. Don't go anywhere. You've been listening to the Noon Show on FM 100.1. Don't go away. We will be here right back. Yeah, I had not considered that before, but like there's sometimes psychological problems. It's used as a coping mechanism, overeating.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yep.
I'm a good example. I'm actually a good
Oh,
example.
I've been there before.
So,
I get it. I've been there before. Even though I work out, I get it.
I think all of us have done that at some point. I mean, I think there's probably not a human on earth that
I
hasn't
still believe,
linked into
other
something.
than, the cancers of the world and everything starts with your mental.
It really does.
It really starts there. And if you get your mental attitude right, I'll give you an example, and I'm going to say this on the air. Lisa influenced me to go back to the gym. Now, she says somebody else did, but she's the one that influenced me because
Great.
she's so dedicated to it.
Yeah.
So I'm back in the gym.
Awesome.
The other thing
I think I'm finally realizing what he's actually saying.
is, this time last year, I was at 227. I'm at 185, which is what I weighed out of college.
That's awesome.
And I've changed my eating habits. She's actually trying to get me to eat things I've never eaten before. And it's got a lot to do with that influence, which is mental, because you're changing your mindset.
Mhm.
And I'm not at the level I should be on everything, but I've never felt better in my life.
That's wonderful.
And so, to your point, I think it starts with that mental, and I'm big on the spiritual part too. I think the spiritual part of it, too many people ignore that.
And I knew earlier from how you responded that you were. I would have said it anyway, but I was pleased that it was going to be received.
It's
It's true.
I mean, your whole day, in my opinion, and I don't do this every day, but I come close. Every day starts spiritually for me with hopefully a heart of gratitude.
Mhm.
And it changes your whole way of thinking.
Well,
It's amazing.
I just wanted to tell you so, and I kind of mentioned this to Johnny before. I went to school at UAH in high school, and my mom lived an hour away. A lot of times, I would go home on the weekends, and to cope with the stress, I did a couple different things. We watched Golden Age of Hollywood movies. I always knew it was going to work out in the end. They always did, right? And so I know a lot of those movies because of going to school and just coping with stress. The other thing was, then I would watch some cooking shows, and I got in there and I would bake and talking about that coping mechanism, But yeah, the movie thing, that's probably the healthier choice, but I made a death by chocolate cake one time. It took me 3 hours to make it. It was crazy.
30 minutes to eat it.
No. It was not like that.
That was called humor.
You had to, but it had to be served with heated ganache. I'm thinking about the cake now.
Welcome back to the Noon Show right here on FM 100.1, and we're just having fun in the studio. I tell you what, it's always a good time here on Fun Radio. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being part of our crazy little Noon Show family. And also part of our family are our wonderful sponsors. And Miss Sunshine, we were talking about coping skills. I've got a good idea for a coping skill. Put a smile on somebody's face.
Little retail therapy, maybe?
Or maybe put a smile on your own face.
Could be.
And there's a locally owned, family owned retail store right here in Tuscaloosa that's been helping us do that for years. And matter of fact, for almost 41 years. And that's our friends at Hudson Pool Fine Jewel. Now, Poogie, did you expect me to say that? Anyway, so, they just have this ability to help us find the right gift at the right time, sometimes for an occasion, sometimes just because. And there's nothing like putting a smile on somebody's face that puts a smile on your face. And that's part of coping.
That's true.
Is smiling.
Yeah.
And so being happy and making other folks happy. And folks, down at Hudson Pool, they have got the perfect gift for every occasion. I suspect they've got gifts for Ash Wednesday. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Could be.
And the next event, I guess, would be Easter. And then there's Mother's Day and Daddy's Day and 4th of July. Lots of events coming up that you could put smiles on folks' faces. But Lisa and I like to encourage you to do something just because.
Yeah.
Just because you want to make somebody feel better, feel good, and in turn, you feel better. So go see our friends at Hudson Pool. They are just absolutely marvelous. Best customer service you could ever ask for with the most beautiful, beautiful merchandise. And right downtown Tuscaloosa, 1111 Greensboro Avenue. And if you're one of those online shoppers or you're an out-of-towner, go to hudsonpool.com. Only website you need, hudsonpool.com. Tell them Lisa and Johnny sent you, and let's go put a smile on somebody's face today. So we're going to get back to Dr. Wells, and can I stick a question in?
No.
I can't. Okay.
No, you need to step back.
Now, I just wanted to follow up what he was talking about before the break, about the mental part of this. And we were talking about that during the break, how important that mental attitude is.
Yeah, so I was actually wondering, so are you seeing patients experience improvements beyond number on the scale, like better lab results or improved sleep, that kind of thing?
Oh, definitely. I think all the GLP-1s are starting to see indications for sleep apnea. Zepbound, which is the non-diabetic version of Mounjaro, the weight loss version, was recently approved for sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And, it makes all the sense in the world that, as you lose weight, you're less likely to snore and less likely to be obstructed and that sort of thing. So, yeah, we see tons of benefits, with just taking care of the body, which is why, going back to what I originally said, it has to be about behaviors you can go on forever, because I want the benefits forever.
That's right. Yeah. And so, so they have long lasting health benefits. So I'm just wondering, in your holistic model at Tide Wellness, how important are nutrition, movement, and mindset along with medication? Very important, I'm sure.
So, I can't remember the exact philosopher that said, or doctor that said, let food be thy medicine. But there's no question that should be where it starts. You don't want to be reactive, which is what, no offense to my own profession. I'm well versed in, pharmacy methods, but you don't be reactive and say, all right, now I have to use a pill to cover up, what a behavior led to. You want to change to where we don't have that problem at all. Very few pills, unfortunately, treat a problem. The vast majority of pills treat a symptom. So you really want to be smarter about how you approach your health.
Yes, I would agree with that. And sometimes it's small changes can lead to large and lasting lifetime results. Sometimes people try to do it all at once rather than starting small.
Yeah. So you're going to have to learn as you go, which is part of why it's important to have a place that kind of lets you go at your own pace.
Right.
And I have patients that, I'm just literally blown away by how quickly and how well they do. And other people that, it'll be 2-3 years in, and I'll finally give them basically the same talk I've been giving them for 3 years. And the next month they'll show up and they've done well for the first time. So you never know, when it's going to click.
Yeah. So I was going to say sometimes it takes a minute to click.
Yep.
Yeah, and to that point, Sunshine, and David, you're saying it in several different ways, but the whole thing really sounds like it comes back to a couple things. Your mental state, your mental attitude, and which means determination, some discipline, but also there's some accountability that you build in, because it's so easy to say I'm going to change my habits.
Right.
And then 30 days later, we've forgotten we're going to change our habits. So talk a little bit more about the coaching side of this. We can get started on Marjan, no, I can't say that word, and other, those kinds of things. But you're emphasizing over and over again, you got to change your mindset. And so how does the accountability process of this work? How do you coach?
Yeah, so really, the way I phrase it is I need two things. I need preparation and I need accountability. That's exactly how I'll say it. And when you kind of refer to the mental health, if you start anything without a plan, you might do well short term. It's a little bit like, showing up at a football game having never really gotten in shape, first quarter might go okay, but you're not going to last the game. You have to put in the effort to get there. And so you can't have it just, I'm ready, doc. I'm just going to do it like that. That's not enough. So when I say preparation, I said, look, write down at night what you're going to eat the next day and just carry it with you, right? And do it every single night. Now, you probably won't do exactly what you write down, especially right off the gate, but you'll start noticing, hey, did I have a plan? What made it easier to execute? What made it a little bit tougher? Can I adjust to that? Do I need help to adjust to that? And you can start learning that way. And then every week, I want to wait on the chart. And that can be done different ways. They can wait in the office for free. They can text in a wait, or they can call in a wait. But I ask them to take a few minutes to watch, like a football game, watch the game film. You know, did I have a plan? Yes or no? Did I follow it? Yes or no? And you're just trying to turn it into a learning experience. And then it is a step at a time. It's not overwhelming. It's one single day at a time.
And it does take some discipline, doesn't it? So
Definitely does.
having that coach and having someone to hold you accountable it sounds like a key part of the plan to make sure that we're doing what we say we're going to do.
And like I said, there's only two things that I think really matter, and that's one of the two. So, yeah.
Okay, makes sense to me.
Okay, I'm wondering, so there's a lot of buzz on social media about Mounjaro, or tirzepatide, as you say. So what misconceptions would you like to clear up, if any?
Well, I don't know about misconceptions, but I will say that I think it would be, I'd like to speak on kind of how you use these types of medications. I have a group of doctors that I kind of converse with, and we meet on different topics, and some of them have a very negative opinion of these medications. And then when they would list the side effects that they were seeing or what they were having to treat, I'd never heard of most of them. Right? And I'm going to tell you why I believe that is. There's a principle called hormesis, and hormesis in chemistry means you use only what you need, the very minimum of what you need. Right? So you're microdosing, which I think is a great idea. You're not using 15 milligrams. You're using a very, very tiny amount, possibly even an amount that doesn't even exist in the pharmacy. So with the pharmacy doses, they kind of go up at certain things. And if you read the literature, a lot of times they say, do this for a month, then go up, and then go up. And I don't feel that way at all. I'm like, look, if it's doing its job, you stay at that minimum dose, and therefore you reduce the side effects, and you have much less chance of an adverse outcome.
So what are the potential downsides or side effects that people should understand before they get started?
So the biggest ones you're going to hear about relate to the gastrointestinal tract: nausea, potentially vomiting, diarrhea. Although ironically, you can have diarrhea in the beginning, but long-term it's constipation. These medicines do slow the gut. So it's important that we kind of keep an eye on, hey, are we keeping the gut moving, things like that. Other things are fairly unusual. There's all kinds of reports about muscle wasting, but I think you'd really have to just not exercise at all and not eat in order to have muscle wasting, because your body's going to choose to. Your body will choose to burn that fat. And I've always found that one a strange one. It's not like we have Arnold Schwarzenegger showing up and losing 100 pounds, and most people just don't have 100 pounds of muscle to lose. So, but muscle wasting's been listed. I don't think I've ever really seen it. Most of my patients who I know that are physically active feel stronger and better. Just like you've experienced with your working out. And those are the kind of big ones.
So how do you monitor and manage those side effects safely?
So the first thing I do is I say, no, listen, the first thing you should know is when you start these shots and you have the first thought, I am getting full, that's when you stop eating, right? Because the next step is going to be nausea. And just like it'll make you full longer and full quicker, it can make you nauseated quicker and nauseated longer. So as long as you're watching for, hey, I'm getting full, I only have a few bites left. I normally would just eat this, but I'm just going to get a to-go box. I think you'll be fine. And then we just see our patients, all my patients with these types of shots. I have to see them physically about every 3 months, and I just make sure that they're doing what they need to do. Make sure that their frequency of using the restroom, that sort of thing is right. Okay,
we are up against a break, but you just opened up a can of worms because you said, "Oh, I just got a few bites left." Certain people, when they were growing up, were trying to clean their plate, and it hit me fairly recently that was always part of my mindset, that it's an absolute must. You can actually put it in a container and put it in the refrigerator. But I always thought, no, I've got to finish it. if that was some training, not blaming anybody. It's just, I think a lot of us have that in common, probably as Americans. But we're going to talk more about that when we come back. We are up against a break. So you've been listening to the Noon Show on FM 100.1. Don't go away. We will be here right back. Yeah, I still have that. I'm like, I gotta
Yeah, we were
finish.
all told that,
I
weren't
still have, oh my gosh.
we? Clean your plate.
Oh, yeah.
Clean your plate.
So, one of the things I had in mind, when I was wanting to find somebody to talk about Mounjaro was, isn't this a real game changer, though, realistically, for people with diabetes?
Yeah.
Maybe I would like to really talk about that a little
Yeah.
bit before we go off the air. Because it could be, some people are just maybe so hard to reach.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that on the air. Anybody's got hope, but, and I've never seen it from your side as far as I've never done the coaching. And
And I've got one question too, a little broader question.
Okay.
Because you've kind of referred to it in different ways more than once. Just a broad question about, you obviously look at the whole person, and I just would love to hear your thoughts on the importance of connecting physical, mental, and spiritual.
I think that'd be a great wrap-up question.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking, because
Let's start with the diabetes question. Do that.
you
That's a great
said
question.
that more than once. That got my
Mhm.
attention, because I believe that.
Oh, yeah.
With all my heart, I believe that.
Yeah, that's,
If your spiritual life's not right, most likely your mental health is not the best. If your mental health's not the best, your physical health's probably going to suffer.
But here's the good news. I really like your shoes, David.
well, thank you.
I've got a feeling I'm going to buy some. It's kind of look like those brown ones I liked.
So
I like those too.
Yeah.
I didn't like them.
I like them because they look like they're like not a tennis shoe. They're like an elevated
You could wear them with
something.
You
What?
could wear them dressed up.
Yeah,
You could dress them up or down. That's a better way to say it. That's the easier
Yeah,
way.
these are the types of things that, like on college game day, they'll wear with their suits, which I haven't reached that point yet. I still wear dress shoes with my suits, but I started wearing them with my jeans, and it dresses up just a little bit.
Yeah. I'm hard to fit, so I'm getting ready to order some to see if they'll fit me. But I like the black too.
This weather, I was surprised to see it
Spring.
cloudy
Just a
again.
little hint of spring. Just a little bit. We'll
It's-
get one more cold snap.
I
Yeah,
agree with you. At least one.
at least one. What was so funny, that really hard freeze we had, 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever
Yeah.
it was? I had azaleas blooming, forsythia blooming.
Yeah.
And after that, they were pretty droopy.
Yeah.
Do you know what they're doing now?
It should be
They're blooming
back up.
again.
Yeah, they're blooming back
They're
up.
blooming again.
It's amazing how adaptable.
Oh, it is.
I borderline this morning, and I stopped myself because I get excited sometimes. We've got Dr. Bandy from the university coming on tomorrow. He's a physicist, and he's the PI for Precision Time.
Okay.
And I was thinking, call him. Can we just drop by the lab
Yeah.
That would be
this
great.
afternoon to see some stuff?
We'd love to do it.
They have atomic clocks.
Oh.
The atomic clocks listen to atoms, in particular cesium atoms, because
Wow.
they never slow, they never get tired, they never slow down, they never speed up.
Here's something, great piece of
We're
trivia.
back on. Wait, we're back on.
Where's the most accurate time chimes in the world?
Welcome back to the Noon Show on FM 100.1. We've been having a delightful conversation off the air.
Yeah, we are, and we're gonna get back to the conversation just very, very briefly. But I do want to say thank you to wonderful sponsor of ours, good friends, Lisa and I, and that's our good friend Ken DeWitt. And folks, if you're looking and you got a business, maybe you want to start a business, you're an entrepreneur looking for coaching, the best business coach anywhere in this state, actually across the South, is our friend Ken DeWitt.
That's
And
right.
Ken is just an unbelievable coach. And he just helps you find traction to make sure your business is on track to achieve the kind of goals and results that you're looking for. Whether it's trying to increase productivity, maybe you've got some management issues, perhaps people issues. Maybe you just need to clarify your vision for what you're trying to accomplish. And you need to look at some new strategies. Well, Ken can help you through that process by using what he is just an expert at, is the EOS system, which stands for Entrepreneurial Operating System. There is nobody better than Ken DeWitt, and he is just right here in Tuscaloosa and willing to work with you. He's worked with Lisa and I some, and just really, really quality coaching, just the best. And so if you want to know more about Ken, more about the EOS system and how you can take advantage and get Ken to be a coach and partner with you, go to eosworldwide.com/Ken-DeWitt and tell them that Lisa and I sent Ken to see you.
That's right.
He's the best.
That's right.
He is the best.
Yeah. So we were talking off the air and hashing out our last couple of questions before we completely run out of time. And so Dr. Williams, I would like to know, so as I said to you, one of the things I had in mind when I asked you to come on and talk about Mounjaro, isn't Mounjaro kind of known to be, or kind of considered to be, a real game changer for people with diabetes? And if so, how?
Yeah, so it just really helps people lower their sugars and reduce excess calories, right off the bat. And the thing that's really cool about it is we know that insulin levels and insulin resistance are a problem, right? The more insulin we produce, the more we have to produce, will eventually lead to diabetes, and then once you're so it's only indicated for type 2 diabetes, but we have used it so successfully in some type 1 diabetics that we've been able to get their insurance to cover it just based on how much less insulin they're requiring.
Okay.
And how much weight they've lost, and they see the benefits that will extrapolate into significant loss with that, because unfortunately insulin, which should be much cheaper than it is, but is not very cheap. So if we can reduce that, sometimes they will listen even for a type 1.
That's great. So for someone who even before I got on Mounjaro, and this would have been during the holidays, got a recipe for, and this is just a comment really, it's called chocolate crack pie. Ooh. And I made it for Thanksgiving. It's very popular. And I was amusing myself. I don't know if they call it